Hi guys, and welcome to another podcast. This time we are going to be looking at stakeholders. So this is the very last topic from section 1. Now, first of all, stakeholders, what are they? You need to have a definition for what stakeholders are. And like I've got on the board, stakeholders are anybody that has an interest in a business. Doesn't matter whether you love the business or hate the business, if you have an interest in the business, you are a stakeholder. Basically, you are affected by that business. So if you're directly affected by a business, if it affects you, then you are a stakeholder. Okay? Now, we have many different types of stakeholders in most businesses, well, pretty much all businesses. So the types of stakeholders that we have, remember, stakeholders are anybody that's affected by a business. So we have customers, obviously they're affected by a business because they shop there. We have the employees and the managers. We have owners and shareholders. Remember, you can only say shareholders if it's either a public limited company or a private limited company. You will not use shareholders if it was a sole trader or a partnership. We also have the local community. The local community are the people who live nearby a business, so they are affected by a business because of things like noise, maybe it's litter or pollution, so they are stakeholders. We have the government, so the government are stakeholders. Pressure groups. Pressure groups, guys, just as a quick recap, pressure groups are organisations that try to change businesses. So they try to put pressure on businesses to try and change them. It's usually to get businesses to be more environmentally friendly. Maybe businesses are polluting, so they try to get them to be more environmentally friendly. Or maybe those businesses are using child labour, for example, so they try to get businesses to change and to be more morally correct and to do the right thing. Okay? So they're pressure groups, if you've forgotten that one. We have suppliers, so they're stakeholders, and financiers. Financiers are people like the bank who have lent money to a business because obviously they're affected by the business because they want their money back. Okay? Now, one of the things you need to be aware of are the interests of different stakeholders. So you need to know what do stakeholders want? What is their objective? What is it that they're after? Okay, now customers, they're after lower prices, higher quality products, better customer service, more opening hours, more variety of products available to them. So that's what customers want. Employees, well, they want pay, and in particular more pay. Okay, better working conditions and more job security. So that's how they're affected. That's their objective. That is what they're looking for. Owners and shareholders, how are they affected? What is their objective? What are they looking for from the business? They want more profit. If you're the owner, or if you're a shareholder, you want more dividends. Because remember, what are dividends? They are a reward that is paid to the shareholders from the profit. So dividends are a percentage of the profit given to shareholders for investing in the business. And shareholders also want the share price to go up, because if the share price goes up, that means the shares that they have bought are worth more money, so they get more for their shares. The local community, so mainly the local community, what do they want? They don't want the business to be noisy and keep them awake at night. They don't want the business to pollute or cause too much traffic or to destroy the environment where these people actually live. The government, what do they want? What is their objective? So the government, they don't want the business to break any laws. They don't want the business to damage the environment. They want lots of competition, and they want the business to pay lots of tax and provide lots of jobs as well. So provide jobs to the area, pay tax to the government from their profits, and that's what we would call corporation tax. Pressure groups, they want their interests to be taken care of. So their interest might be, of their members, might be to get businesses to be more environmentally friendly. So they're going to try and put pressure on that business, and that is what they're looking for. They're looking for the business to change. They're looking for the business to cut down less trees, or if they do cut down a tree, to replace that tree. They also want the business to create less CO2, be more efficient, for example, as well. Suppliers, when they're selling supplies to the business, they want the business to pay a higher price for their supplies, so they want the price that the business pays to them to be higher, and they want more orders, and they want the businesses to buy more supplies from them. Financiers, the last one, is the bank, and the bank just want to make sure they get their money back. So they want, if they lend money to the business, they want that business to be repaid. They want that business to be repaid with interest. They want the repayments to be on time, so they want the business to pay when they should every single month. Okay, we do need to be aware about stakeholder conflict. Now, certain stakeholders want certain things, and those things come into conflict. And by conflict, I mean you might want something, but the other person wants something different. They want something else. It's almost like a battle, like a war, because who's going to win? Who's going to get what they want? Okay, and different stakeholders want different things. So, some examples of conflict, like I've got on here. Local community might be against the expansion of a business because it's going to create more traffic, it's going to create more noise, it might create more pollution. So the local community don't want the business to expand, but the managers do and the shareholders do, because the expanded business will create more profit. So they want the business to expand, the managers and the shareholders, but the local community don't. So we have a conflict because they want different things. We have shareholders. Shareholders want higher dividends. They want money to be paid to them as dividends. But we have managers who want to use that money for investment. So we have an opportunity cost here, you could say. Opportunity cost being that the managers want to use the money for investment and expansion in new machinery. But if they use that money for investment and expansion in machinery, then they're unable to give that money to shareholders as dividends. So shareholders want the profit for themselves as dividends, but managers want to use that profit to expand the business and make the business bigger. Okay? And we have a conflict. They want different things. Suppliers want a high price for their supplies, but what does the business want to do? The business wants to pay them as little, as low as possible. So again, we have a conflict. They want different things. Their objectives, what they're looking for, is in conflict to the other person. Okay, so again, just some more conflicts on here that you need to be aware of. So owners versus customers. Customers want low prices, for example. They want the price to be as low as possible, whereas the owners want the price to be as high as possible. We have the employer and the employee. So the employee wants the wages to be as high as possible, but the owners want to pay as low as possible. So there are lots of examples there about different stakeholders. Okay, just to summarise, different groups have different interests, different objectives. The interests may conflict. What one person wants may conflict with the other, and the business will most likely respond to the needs of the most powerful stakeholder. One last thing before we move on that I would like to go over with you, with regards to the different stakeholders, and I'll go all the way back to the beginning, is whether the stakeholders are internal or external. So you may get asked to give examples of internal stakeholders or external stakeholders. Now the internal stakeholders are anybody who works for the business. So if you're an employee or a manager or an owner, then you are internal. You work for the business and you are an internal stakeholder. External are everybody else. External being anybody who doesn't work for the business. So the customers are external, they don't work for the business. The bank is external, suppliers, pressure group, the government and the local community. They're all external because they don't work for the business. The internal stakeholders are the ones who work for the business. The owners, the employees, the managers, the directors, they're all within the business and they are internal. Okay? Right guys, I hope you found that useful and I'll see you next time. Thank you.